Hello, is this thing on? Hello? How do I sound? Echo, but good? I think that it's an echo because of the room not having any furniture. Just give me a second. By the way, someone said, why are you entering your Gorbachev era? Did you get a spot on your head? What are you, a political science major? Yes, I did. On Saturday, I was moving some stuff and I smashed the shit out of my head on like a low-hanging part of some furniture because everything in our house is like in a different location because we moved houses. So my Roomba mental mapping was like off. The thing is, I was like wearing a hat, so it hurt. Like it got me, like when it hit me on the head, I crumpled. I turned into Big Ed. I went like, and then it hit me so hard it knocked one of my earbuds out, but I didn't even notice it for like 10 minutes. So then I had to go back into the room with like the volume cranked and going like, where is it? And it was like 10 feet away from where I hit my head, but I didn't notice how bad it was until I got inside like a couple hours later and I took my hat off and I was like bleeding. I had like a drop of blood that was going straight down my forehead. But it's okay. It's just superficial. But it got me kind of fucked up because like just by coincidence later that night, I was reading about like Liam Neeson and how ever since the death of his wife, he's mostly just been taking film roles for fun. And I was like, how did she die again? She had like a skiing accident, but she thought she was okay. She hit her head on a tree, thought she was okay, went home and then died like 2 days later after feeling normal. And I was like, oh shit. Then I woke up the next day and it was like, I guess I don't have a headache, so I think I'm okay. No, it's been like 4 days now, so I think I'm all right. I think it was just superficial. Yesterday I was walking around with a side duck bandage just draped over this right here. I was going Nelly mode. I don't really have that many anecdotes from this weekend, but I did have one crazy moment. I took the baby out for a walk in the stroller, and we fucking went, man. We went. Like, hour one way, knowing that I'm going to have to take an hour back, okay? So I got to the halfway point where I like turned around, and I started freaking out a little bit. You know how you do the 3-tap? Like, I got my keys, I got my phone, I got my wallet. Well, I was missing something on one of the taps, and I went, oh shit. And then it starts the anxiety of like, did I bring it or did I drop it somewhere? So we're walking all the way back. The baby's still asleep. I'm looking in like all these yards. I'm looking like on the sidewalk, seeing if I drop my phone somewhere, if I drop my wallet somewhere. Listen, so all that stuff, my 3-tap is now in a bag that I carry around my neck, and I didn't have the bag. But I only realized I didn't have the bag when I got to the halfway point. So I'm looking around. Did I drop my bag? Did I drop my bag? 15 minutes of walking back and looking. And I found someone's iPhone just sitting in someone else's front lawn. Like, you know, the front lawn, sidewalk, lawn before the road. It was in the lawn before the road. So I said, oh shit, what's going on with this? I know that if I lost my phone, I would be freaking out. It's not just, you know, the money from losing the phone. It's all your personal details, sensitive information, multi-factor authentication, stuff like that. Like it's a big hassle, right? So the baby was still asleep. I pulled her stroller off to the side. I put it in park, and then I like pushed on the screen, and it's in Chinese. It's default iOS, but it's in Chinese. So I'm racking my brain. I'm like, how the hell am I gonna get this phone back to the person who dropped it? Okay. So first things first. I look through the case. I'm like, maybe there's a business card in here. Maybe there's like a piece of ID and I could at least get their address and I could go like deliver it to them. Nothing. Just a bunch of like miscellaneous, parking receipts and stuff like that. So I guess I knew their license plate. Then I thought, okay, well, I'm not like cut out for this. So I Googled like how to return somebody's iPhone to them. And then they were like, well, you can sometimes activate Siri and say something like, hello. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to trigger your Siri. But you can say like, hello, name. What's my name? Hello, blank, what's my phone number? And then you can like, or hello, blank, what's my email address? And by doing that, you can like get data to then give the phone, like identify and then give the phone back to the person. I picked the phone, and I know that because on the iPhone, my wife has this too, right? Like it'll show you people that tried to unlock your phone. Like I had the phone up to my face and I was going, hello, Siri. Hello. And then I'm like, this shit's in, at the time I didn't know whether it was Chinese or Japanese. So I'm sitting there for like 5 minutes going, Konnichiwa, Siri. Ni hao, Siri. Just hoping that like it at least would trigger the assistant and I could get some data out of it, but no such luck, okay? So that's like another 5 minutes. I've been there 10 minutes at this point. Then I figure, okay, sometimes you can use the camera on a phone without unlocking it by just like right swiping on the camera icon or something like that. I'm an Android user, so and it's in a different language, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I write a note on my phone that is like, hello, I found your phone. My name is blank. I found it at this address. This is my phone number. Please contact me. This is my address. Please contact me to get it back. Then I was trying to take a photo of my details with their phone, hoping that it would ping like their iCloud on a different device, like maybe they have an iPad or something, and then they would see it in the cloud, come to my house and be like, you have my phone, and I'd give it back to them. Okay, while I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to get the camera to take a photo of it without unlocking it, a lady drives up and she gets out of her car, and like her son and her son's friend get out of the car, and they start looking at me, and I'm looking at them and they're looking at me. We're kind of having like I don't know, it's not like a stare down, but it's just like we're clearly about to interact with each other. And they said, excuse me, I think that's our phone. And then they ran over and I was like, here's your phone. I just found it here. They didn't, I know you're going to, for the purposes of like, if this was Curb Your Enthusiasm, they would be like, they thought I stole their phone. But no, it turns out that the lady had driven to like a Vancouver landmark. She parked her car. She left her phone in her car, didn't lock it. Later, when she was leaving, she was like, oh crap, I don't have my phone. Went back to her car. Her phone wasn't in there. Went to her son's place. Her son was like, you can use Find My Phone to see it. And then they had been like in a chase basically with the GPS data of the phone. So whoever stole it had, driven off or, biked off or whatever, and then just taken whatever valuables out of the phone case and then thrown it on the side of the road. So I gave it back to them, obviously. And then they were so grateful, and the lady took a photo of me just to be like, hey, I want a memory of this moment. And then the next part, which was great, is the son and the son's friend were like, do you stream on Twitch? And I was wearing a Twitch shirt, so it wasn't like they just recognized me. But they were like, do you stream on Twitch? And I was like, oh yeah, I stream on Twitch. And then they said, what's your username? And I told them. And then usually when I tell people that, they don't immediately go on their phones and look it up. But then he looked me up and he said, oh my God, you have a lot of followers. And I said, well, yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. And then they said, oh, well, I'll post something nice to let people know you're actually like a nice guy. And I said, thank you so much. Please don't post that photo that your mom took and then say, I caught this scumbag stealing my phone in Vancouver. Everybody go get him. And then like that was it. We said our goodbyes. And I was like, I was stoked that I helped someone out, because I know how fucked up I would feel if like I lost my phone. But then I got like 2 blocks away and I like almost cried. Because I've been doing this, I've been moving for like a fucking week and I'm so ass at it. I'm barely good at like moving the boxes. And that's the only thing I'm barely good at. The organizing I'm trash at. Building of new furniture I'm trash at. To do a good deed and then have someone show like face-to-face appreciation, I was like, man, it's been like a long time. The right thing, you should do a good deed because a good deed done is its own reward. But then to like also get rewarded with appreciation, it was like, it felt like waking up from a long winter. And then I walked home. But that's about it. I didn't do it for the endorphins. There was 2 reasons I did it. At first I was like, it would be nice like to stay here and give someone their phone back. Because, I mean, it would fuck you up to lose your phone. Yo, thank you, librarian. Thank you. Appreciate it. But then the second one was like, now I have to make sure that they get their phone back because they're going to have like a picture of me trying to unlock their phone. So they're going to like bring that shit to the police station and then they're going to be like, we're putting out an all points bulletin for this dude with a fucking scab on the top of his head. People are going to be like, I saw that guy in the downtown east side. Dog, he's a known quantity. So I was like, I gotta get this phone back to its rightful owner. Son of a bitch picked up my phone, saw that it was in Chinese and then said, Konnichiwa, Siri. Did you find what you forgot? It was actually, I guess that's the capstone of the story. It was in my house the whole time. I got home and then it was just sitting like on a bench in my house. But if I hadn't thought that I'd lost it, I probably wouldn't have looked so hard on the way back. And then I might not have found that person's phone. And I mean, someone probably would have returned it. Like, I don't think I'm the only honorable person. But I don't know if the next person who found it would have sat there for 15 minutes. Hey, 2 kids, can you DM me the picture? I will say, listen, I already, like, it was a moment that was very spiritually fulfilling for me. I do appreciate it. Like it made my weekend for sure. But then also, I was kind of waiting for like a tweet I figured like, they got time to get home, decompress, eat lunch, eat dinner, whatever. Then later that night, I thought I would see a tweet that's like, you wouldn't believe what happened to us today. My mom lost her phone and then blah, blah, blah. It turns out the streamer's actually the nicest guy in the whole city. And then the picture. But I did not, but maybe they don't have Twitter. Maybe they don't have Twitter. It's okay. They were probably rate limited. It's so true. Didn't you say not to post it? No, I said don't post it and say that I stole your mom's phone. You could post it and say this guy was our hero. The only other thing is like, I saw a thread on Reddit of like dad pro tips. It was like little action items that can help you when you are on dad duty. And one of them, if you have a toddler or younger than a toddler, probably even older than a toddler, but you know, like one of the most frustrating things is like they walk so slow. So if you got like a long way to walk, you either have to pick them up and like shatter your spine, or you got to be prepared for like a 5-minute walk to become like 45 minutes. So one of the tips was like, if you're tired of your toddler walking slow, just turn everything into a race. Say like, I bet daddy can get to the tree faster than you can get to the tree. And then like, they'll be all about it. And we were doing it. Like, I bet I can brush my teeth faster than you. I bet I can get to the bathroom faster than you, et cetera, et cetera. But we were walking back from the park yesterday and I was just like, it should be like, not a long walk and it's taken forever. So I said, I bet daddy can get to the tree before you. She said, no, I'm faster. Ran 4 steps, tripped over an uneven sidewalk tile, fell down on both of her shins and scraped the shit out of her legs and then was like, ah! I was like, oh no, this is actually like the worst piece of advice of all time. Now not only are her knees scraped up, but I gotta carry her home. And that's when I put the Band-Aids on her. And then she put the Band-Aid on my head. Hang on. Let me see. What did I miss any good games? Dave the Diver and Bro Tato are out. That's good for them. I'm stoked. I'm not anti Dave the Diver. I was very pro Dave the Diver until it sort of exhausted me. All I say, I forget who made the tweet. Someone tweeted, my favorite part of Dave the Diver is that they keep introducing new mechanics. I'm like 21 hours in and I just got introduced to a whole brand new game inside of it. And I was like, yeah, that's why I'm sick of that shit. You never get to do anything. You just, as soon as they introduce something, they're like, here's another thing for you. Here's another thing for you. Here's another thing for you. Never get to just appreciate making sushi. All of a sudden, you got to play Dance Dance Revolution to get a new avocado. You plant the avocado seed in your garden, go to the garden. Then you got to do a Dead by Daylight mini game to grow the avocado. Okay, you've grown the avocado. Now you got to do fucking Fruit Ninja to slice up the avocado. And then you got to, it's too much, man. / marker, the dulls. You know, they call them the dulls, but they're anything but. And they are back for today. I'm feeling very worldly here, by the way. People keep asking, what does it mean when you say you're going Gorbachev mode? I mean, it should be pretty self-explanatory. You see this son of a gun right here? Scraped my damn scalp this weekend, leaving me with something that superficially resembles a port wine stain. Okay, speaking of Gorbachev, they export a lot of iron here. Okay, I mean, anytime I see predominantly like iron mining, I usually think to myself that this is Central Asian. So I'll just start with something like Kazakhstan. 4,000 kilometers west of Kazakhstan. Maybe it's on, I'm trying to, in my head, how big is 4,000 kilometers? It's like a third of, it's like a sixth of the circumference of the Earth. Is that correct? Yeah, okay, roughly. A sixth of the circumference of the Earth flattened out onto a 2D plane. So I guess I could just imagine the globe. No, that's really hard. Maybe this is in the Balkans. Maybe this is like a Kosovo. Okay, hang on. Northwest of Kosovo. I feel like it's not Croatia. Croatia is closer, and also they would have definitely some kind of like seafood or nautical related stuff because they have so much coastline. North of Kosovo. Could be like Bulgaria? Hungary? Oh, I'm not going far enough. Hungary. Slovakia? It's not Slovakia. I'm not sure, Dad. I knew your dad. It's west of Slovakia. Germany, Poland, living rooms, bedrooms, dinettes. Oh yeah, you can find it at the market. We're talking about flea market. Belgium, no. The Netherlands, absolutely not. I don't see sprinkle sandwiches here. I guess based on capitals, it could be Czechia, although I don't think it's 1,000 kilometers from Bratislava to Czechia. But then you go like west of that, your ass is in Germany. Germany's definitely not exporting 7% fucking iron blocks, $700 million worth of cars, exporting like, tens of billions of dollars worth of cars. So where's your ass going? Luxembourg? I don't think Switzerland, Austria. I don't think it's going to be Austria. 20 billion, Austria? 20 billion? 20 billion? You sure about that? You sure about that? Iron blocks? I know Tyrol is a province that's known for its mining in Europa Universalis 4, but still, I got to imagine like Mozart postcards would be up here or something. He's spiraling. I have no idea. I feel like I've lost my mind. I'm going to say Poland, and I'm going to hope. It's the only thing that makes sense here. It's not Poland. It is Luxembourg! Really? They're doing a lot of mining in Luxembourg? Poland is north of Slovakia? That's true, but like... I mean, obviously, this is the worst part of the dulls, is when you get it wrong, and they're like, it's not the thing that you guessed. And you're like, no shit, idiot, I know that. Obviously. I'm still flabbergasted that it's Luxembourg. I would have thought that Luxembourg would be exporting, you know, like... Okay, I'm going to make myself look ignorant here. I was going to say processed goods, but I guess these are processed goods. But I honestly thought that it would be a lot of, like, snacks. It's right here. We'll start with Luxembourg, because why not? It's very close to Luxembourg, but it's not 900 kilometers away, so it's not Slovakia. How about Switzerland? Ooh, adjacent to the answer. How about Italy? Wow, that's a good one. I feel like Italy might be the easiest country to guess in every single geography game. If they give you the shape, you're like, that's a damn boot. If they give you the exports, you're like, yeah, I get it, pasta. Pasta Lamborghinis. Hang on, I have to find what ad I should have here. I forgot that this site has advertisements. Enjoy a hilarious and alluring Star Wars burlesque parody show, The Empire Strips Back. It's not my tempo, no disrespect. Okay, how about this one? UFC 290, 2 title fights. Volkanovski versus Rodriguez. I've got Rodriguez in that one, full stop. Moreno versus Pantoja 2. I've got to go with Pantoja 2. He's, they rebuilt him. He's even stronger now. All movies directed by Ari Aster are in row 3. All movies featuring stories of East Asian American characters are in column 4. All movies in row 1 feature a male lead. All movies in row 2 feature a female lead. One of us always lies. One of us always tells the fucking truth. The 2 earliest releases in the grid are both in column 2. Okay. All Ari Aster movies are in row 2. Row 3. It's going to be Midsummer, Beau is Afraid, Hereditary, and another one. Or maybe that's it. All movies movies from the same director are in the same row, and they appear in order of release from left to right. Same director. So there's going to be like a Good Time. Well, hang on. All movies featuring stories of East Asian American characters are in column 4. That's The Farewell, Minari, Everything Everywhere All at Once. But Moonlight has to be on a fucking diagonal. I'm losing it, man. I'm fucking losing it. Moonlight's got to be on a fucking diagonal, but then what's that? Oh, because Everything Everywhere All at Once won, not Lady Bird. Moonlight goes here. Everything Everywhere All at Once goes here. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. Let me get a swap. Let me get a lighthouse going up and a pearl going to row 2. Or a ladybird going to row 2. All movies from the same director are in the same row. Motherfucker. Oh, no, your ass has the lighthouse as East Asian. That's a good point. Okay, the lighthouse, not East Asian, I believe. Okay, now check me. I think we got a few here at least. Oh, baby, okay. The witch will come before the lighthouse wherever they go. So it's got to be like that. And then you got to get hot swapped for something with a woman in it. Which is that. But then where the fuck does the Swiss Army man go? Fucking check me. Get shit on. I rule. Hot swap me. The end. I'm the best of all time. Why didn't anybody tell me it's math? Now that I know it's math, it's no problem whatsoever. And we'll do Pearl Harbor to Big Fish, which means we're trying to get to Helena Bonham Carter. We're trying to get to Ewan McGregor. We're trying to get to Billy Crudup. We're trying to get to Marianne Cotillard. We're trying to get to Albert Finney. We're trying to get to Danny DeVito. And what do we have to work with? You got your Ben Affleck's, of course. You got your Kate Beckinsales. You got your Josh Hartnett's. I think I have something. Just let me cook for a second. Give me Josh Hartnett to Lucky Number 11. Give me Bruce Willis. Was he not in a movie with Danny DeVito? I'm losing it. I think I'm thinking of John Travolta, who is thankfully right here, and then is in a movie called Get Shorty. Please tell me Danny DeVito's in Get Shorty. He is. Okay, I'm crazy. Big fish. I'll take it. I'll take it. It turns out that Bruce Willis was not in Get Shorty, but luckily he's done movies with John Travolta. Movies are back. Shortest Possible was 2. Pearl Harbor, Ben Affleck, Gone Girl, Missy Pyle, Big Fish. You know what? That's gettable. But I do want to say that Missy Pyle in Big Fish, I'm pretty sure she's a woman in the idealized town that gives Ewan McGregor a pie. Like, I don't think she if you know who she is, when you see the movie, you'll be like, that's Missy Pyle. If you watch the movie, you will be like, who's that lady? Because you don't know who she is. You know what she wasn't Missy Pyle when she filmed it, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, she was, but you didn't know that. You know what I mean? It's like if you saw Leprechaun in theaters, you're like, who played the female lead in Leprechaun? I don't know, it was just some lady. If you watched Leprechaun in 2006, you would be like, holy shit, that's Jennifer Aniston. You would know who it was if she gave Ewan some pizza. That's true. That's true. That's true. But imagine she gave him some sushi. Oh, wait, she wouldn't, because she probably enjoys it too much, if I had to guess. Just in case anyone here was considering slandering BC dairy farmers, they do so much more. Then what? I don't know. This shit looks very familiar to me. It's freaking me out how familiar this looks. Skip me once. 3 average guess attempts. Skip me once. It's Turok the Dinosaur Hunter. That's Turok 1. Dude, I rented this for the N64. It was probably the second game I ever played on the N64. I feel like in the first level, which is as far as I got as a kid, I never hunted any dinosaurs. I feel like my ass was getting killed by just like birds and stuff. This shit is a fucking iconoclast, man. It's fucking Owl Boy. It's bright. It's fucking some fucking Earthbound. I've been swearing a lot. I haven't been able to swear for a few days. Oh, it's Plants vs. Zombies, obviously. I haven't been able to swear really because I've been hanging around with my 2-year-old. Did you see the amazing tweet that was like, I've been reading a book, I'm 100 pages in, and there's been no swearing and no sex so far. It's honestly refreshing. And then the next reply, like a day later, was like, oh, I looked it up and it turns out it's actually a young adult novel, but it's still pretty great. I really recommend it. Oh, they're not sending their best to Twitter, man. They're not sending their best critics to Twitter. Anti-sex scene discourse. Everybody's got an opinion. We don't need to use swear words anymore. Swear words are just the last bastion of a maladroit mind. Oh, guess what? Actually, it turns out you've been reading fucking Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief. Anyway. That's not a good start. Ooh. Earlier than 2014. The Sims 2. Oh! 2004. EA was involved in some way. Okay, I'm going to have to give that an NHL 04. I'm going to have to give that a Madden NFL. I have to give that a FIFA. Oh, and I have to, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I'm going to have to give that a fucking Command and Conquer. What's the weird one? Command and Conquer Commandos or something? The first person. General Renegade. Oh, Yuri's a little renegade. Daddy's guy went fast, almost like he couldn't stay. Rare Bon Jovi reference. 2004. Need for Speed. The problem with Need for Speed is this shit is all named the same. Need for Speed 2, Need for Speed 3, Hot Pursuit, Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit, Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit 2. Need for Speed Undercover, Need for Speed Underground, Need for Speed Underground 2. I think Need for Speed Underground is the one that I played in like 04 with drag racing. Oh! It's a driving game. It's from 2003, dumbass. Correct saga, correct developer. But now it's gotta be Need for Speed Underground 2, right? It is Need for Speed Underground 2. Okay, look at that. I've only played Hot Pursuit 2. I've played some Need for Speed in my life. Hot Pursuit 2 is the one that introduced me to the song Fever for the Flava by Hot Action Cop. She got the power of the coochie. She got the fever for the flavor. And did I mention, hey, pay attention, gonna take your booty to the nudie dimension. I got the green glow under my car. I got the boom boom system you could hear if I, you know that one? What a soundtrack. Other than that, I'm a Burnout stan. Oh, look at this. Holy. This is Sigmund Freud. No, wait, this is Sigmund Freud. Wait, that's Trotsky, dude. What's Trotsky doing there? This is crazy. That's Charlie Chaplin. That's Charlie Chaplin. That's fucking everybody who's everybody is here, dude. That's Mark Twain. I mean, Thomas Edison. That's Al Pacino. This Jesse Plemons, dude. Wait, no, that's Kenneth Branagh. That's fucking Trotsky, though. You can't tell me that is not Trotsky. This dude just fucked up. Oh, I think I left my air fryer on. Oh, no. Me playing chess is so good. Oh, fuck. This little kid's gonna beat my ass. I knew I shouldn't have taken the corner seat. Oh, dude. This has got to be like 19... Oh, fucking 19... I'll give you a 1920 on this one. Oh! The hell is this? Stanley Tucci dressed as the dude from Spaceballs? I mean, this has heavy mid-2010s energy. Oh, he is doing okay. It's a compliment, by the way. The dude, look, he's got a serious Stanley Tucci thing going on there. Nerds like us. I mean, this fashion is like 2013. But given that this is a nerd convention, I say that with respect in my heart because I'm a nerd as well. But this could be someone wearing 2013 fashion in 2018, which is fine. I think this is 2013. Talk about the cargo shorts. Brother, I mean, here's the thing. I think we're actually like in an era now where like, I haven't been to a PAX in like 4 years. You know, we went to 2019 and then didn't go to 20, COVID. And Kate was pregnant, but she wanted to go, but COVID fucked it up. 21, COVID, had a kid. 22, we have a kid, right? 23, it's probably the first year we could have gone back, but we're like, maybe we'll simmer for a year. We got other stuff to do. Maybe 2024. There's been like by the way, it's me, Brian. Thank you for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. There's been a nerd evolution. 2013 was before nerds were hotties. Nowadays, nerds are hotties. They're showing up at conventions with like a unified sense of style. They're dressing to impress. You know, they're doing something. Not me. I'm wearing my lavender shirt. Everyone's going, "Why are you wearing a purple shirt?" But back in the early 2010s, there's a lot of graphic tees, cargo pants, utila kilts. You get the idea. Me wearing a Green Lantern shirt, exactly. Me showing up at PAX with 2 t-shirts and then on the last 2 days wearing shirts that I got for free from some of the booths. Like, it's just, things have changed now. I don't know. Fucking 2000. These cars are old. These cars could be from like 1934. Oh, fuck. It was such an easy 4,000 point day, too. That's not what cars look like in 1934? Like, in my head, it kind of goes from like the early, like 1900 is like Model T. It's like a car you would make in your garage. And then 1930 to me is these. And then like there's no evolution until like American muscle cars. And then it goes straight into like 2000s era Honda Civics. Model T is from 1930? Holy, I don't know anything about cars. This should be apparent by now. An airplane, they did surgery on a grape. An airplane has landed in downtown New York City. It's freaking me out because like this looks old as shit, but then like a wood paneled station wagon screams like 1970s to me. But then what is this dude? What the hell is this? This is a police officer. He's got a fucking pickaxe. He's got a Minecraft pickaxe on his back. What's going on with this? Is this guy even part of the same force? Like he's just wearing a shirt. Like it's not. I get that a uniform is like a shirt, but he's just wearing a shirt. That's not like a uniform. It's just a shirt, dude. Anyway, this is New York City, baby. I'm going to say that this is 1951. Lady Luck. 1956. After losing a bet, Thomas Fitzpatrick stole a plane from a New Jersey airport and landed it at the bar where the bet was made. 2 years later, Fitzpatrick repeated his stunt. Both times he was charged with wrongdoing. He did it 2 times, man. That's so good. Elvis Presley in Washington, D.C. after returning from the Vietnam War. This is definitely Elvis. If this was Person Guesser, we would be cruising right now. Why does he look fake? He does look touched up, man. That's probably why everyone was going crazy for Elvis. They were like, holy shit, this guy looks like... He looks so... I don't even know what to say. Like, his features are popping, man. Vietnam, huh? Korea! Okay, I got my decades mixed up, okay? It's fucking right around... Where's the... Yeah, that looks like a... It looks more like the fucking... I don't fucking care. It was... Where's the fucking... Maybe the Lincoln Memorial? I don't know. It's somewhere around. You know, you're in the... You're somewhere in this general area. In 1950... Well, the war ended in 1955. Let's say it's 1955. 1960. It's in Graceland. What the hell? This dude built Washington, D.C. in Graceland? Memphis, Tennessee? He's reason to believe we all will be received in Graceland? Okay. This is... France? It's Italy? It's France. It's New York. It's France. It's London. It's London. It's France. It's London. This is London. This is London. Even though the language is French. And this is, I don't even know what that is. This is London, brother. You can tell from the tightness of the architecture. And this is 1971. It's Paris. So you could tell because of the way it is. 1959? It's crazy because they're dressed like in a 60s style, but it's not even the 60s yet. You want to talk about, they're not the cutting edge. Like, they're not on the cutting edge. They're cutting the edge right now. Slash marker, those. Hello, Cobalt. Happy American Trader Day. What the hell? No, it's not. Well, I don't really know the history of July 4th. Is that when they signed the Declaration of Independence? Or is that like when they won the Revolutionary War? It's when it was signed. The Declaration of Independence was signed after the Revolutionary War was won. It wasn't like, no, really? Before? When was it signed? It was signed in 1776, right? The war ended 1783. Oh, that makes, I was going to say, so it makes more sense to be like, we're independent. And then England is like, what? Anyway, happy 4th of July. I celebrated Canadian Independence Day this weekend as well by listening to the most underrated Canadian song of all time, Underwhelmed by Sloan. People they think Sloan only makes songs to play, in arenas when you're playing hockey in junior high school. No, they got one banger. They got one banger, dude. They have way more than one. I mean, Motor City Maniacs is okay. That's so. Body is covered in Coke fizz. Hey you. I know that one. They got maybe 2 bangers. He does not say my body is covered in goat jizz. It's Coke fizz. Coke fizz. He totally does. Rap genius Sloan Motor City Maniacs. The quintessential rock and roll anthem, primarily focusing on the tale of a band locked into their life on the road. Okay, hang on. And the joke is, when he awoke, his body was covered in Coke fizz. Okay, listen, motherfucker. No, that's the radio edit, man. That's the radio edit. Oh, man. There's a whole thing where they go into detail on why they changed the lyric. You guys are fucking with me. You guys are fucking with me. So many people are saying they did an interview where they talk about it. You know what goes hard? One Coca-Cola. It's been a long, long time since I've purchased like a case of Coca-Cola. But every once in a while, you'll find yourself in possession of one Coca-Cola. How does that happen? Let me explain to you. 3 weeks ago, we got sushi. We didn't order any drinks. When I picked up the sushi, the lady gave me the sushi and she gave me a Coke as well. And she said, this is on the house. Sometimes Asian restaurants will be giving you like a free Coca-Cola when you order from them. It happens on DoorDash too from time to time. So I said, check it out. They gave us a Coca-Cola. We didn't crack it right there because we're not like noted Coca-Cola drinkers. So we put it in the fridge, let it simmer there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Wife cracked it open yesterday. She needed a little bit of refreshment. I took a little sip of it when she wasn't looking. Ooh, dude, one Coke goes kind of crazy. So like on an airplane, that's a great example. When you've been waiting for the drink cart to come back for 17 minutes because the 55-year-old man in front of you ordered like 7 cocktails in Coach. He's going to mix it himself on his little fucking tray while he watches like the worst action movie that's ever been made. Then they finally get to you and you're like, can I have a Diet Coke, please? And sometimes they go, do you want just the whole can? And you're like, oh, yes, please. Finally being rewarded for my good behavior. Not tapping the dude on the shoulder and saying, hey, dude, can you stop watching fucking Red Notice? Because it offends me. I'll be like a flexible part or whatever. You can just ask for the can. Yeah, but I'm not like a squeaky wheel. I'm more of like, I want the grease, but I don't want to have to squeak for it, you know? Don't get me wrong. I want the grease. But I don't want to I feel like we should be giving the quietest wheels some of the grease. The squeaky wheels are getting too rewarded, man. It's a problem in today's society. Do you see the video of the lady getting off the airplane? And she was freaking out and she said, you guys can stay here and die if you want, but that motherfucker isn't real.
And there's a reason why I'm getting the fuck off, and everyone can either believe believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two fucks, but I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can fucking die with them or not. I'm not going to.
She was pointing at something on the back of the airplane. She said, that motherfucker isn't real. It's the scariest thing of all time. And I was reading the replies on Twitter. People were like, I don't understand how nobody else got off the airplane. If that happened when I was on the airplane, I definitely would have gotten off. Look at, you can't fake that. Look at how scared she is. Really? You would have, this insane person said she saw like a ghost or a ghoul or something on the airplane. Your ass would be like, I'm out of here too. My ass will be queuing up a movie. I won't even be able to fucking watch it because halfway through, I'll get through the credits, the 17 advertisements that play before the movie actually gets to finally fucking start. And then they're like, Bienvenue d'abord Air Canada, pour votre confort et sécurité. And then I'm like, oh, wait 20 minutes for 7 different languages. The announcement is literally like, please just, stay in your seat and shut the fuck up. And then finally I get a chance to start watching my damn movie again. But for some reason, as soon as they stop the announcement, it completely resets the in-flight entertainment system. Now I gotta go fast forward on a shitty ass 1-inch widescreen touchpad. What you press fast forward once, it goes times 1.1. You press fast forward twice, it's like times 128. You're like, I just spoiled the whole movie for me. The shit is, we haven't even started taxiing yet. Which is worse, the shitty screen buttons or the shitty in armrest buttons? I would definitely say that the armrest buttons are markedly worse most of the time. You know what bothers me on an airplane is when they don't have standardized locations for headphone jacks. Sometimes your ass is trying to plug it into your armrest, it's not there. You try to plug it into your neighbor's armrest, they don't have one. They look at you like, you just fucking tried to eat their complimentary baguette or something like that. You realize it's under the screen. And then some of them are like, no, it's not under the screen. We don't even have a screen. You got to download an app for your phone and then you can stream Red Notice to your phone. Oh, but only if the in-flight Wi-Fi works. It never fucking works. And then you gotta, even if it does have a headphone jack, you plug it in all the way, you're getting like, the volume's cranked up to full, you're getting 1 decibel echoey Gal Gadot in your right ear, and then you're like, what's going on? What's going on with this? What's going on with this? Subtitles? Oh, they only have Mandarin subtitles on this movie for some reason. Then you pull it out 1 micrometer out of the headphone jack, and all of a sudden it's boom, boom! Anyway, I have not taken a flight in a while, but it do kind of be like that. Cathartic moment for me because I'm stuck in the Montreal airport getting ready to go to Ottawa. Probably, listen, I love my country in many ways, such as, but one thing about Canadians, they do love lining up 2 hours early for boarding. And it drives me fucking crazy. Ottawa was like one of the worst I'd ever seen. I was like, there's 17 people on this flight. Surely we're not going to all, line up for no reason an hour and a half before they even make the announcement that the plane is boarding. No, they were like, I don't know, they're so paranoid that it's going to like leave without them or something. Yeah, why don't you just like have a child and then bring a stroller even though they don't need a stroller anymore? And then they always like move you to the front of the line because you got a stroller. This shit is so cash. Sometimes you can't hear the announcement. Listen, motherfucker. You can, even if you can't hear the announcement, if you're sitting close enough to the gate, you can infer the announcement because it's when everybody starts standing up. Okay? When everybody starts standing up and lining up in the little partitions that they set up. That's when you don't have to hear the announcement. They only make like 2 different announcements at the airplane. Or at the gate, I should say. I'm always in zone 38. It sounds like they're probably moving your ass like back 1 zone for every hour that you line up early. So you should be in zone fucking 38. Maybe zone 3800. Why do people want to board first? It's all about the currency of the overhead bin these days. I don't want to board first, but I've got shit that has to go in the overhead bin. But because they started charging for checked bags a few years ago, like even 1 checked bag costs you like $50. Everybody stopped taking checked bags because they want to save $50 on their $1,400 plane ticket. So now, instead of, they used to just get on with like a purse or a backpack, and then all of the heavy, like, voluminous shit was in a suitcase. Now everybody gets on with a roller bag that's like almost as big as a suitcase, and they all try to jam it into the overhead compartment. So if your ass doesn't get on relatively early, then they always come around and they're like, hey, what do you got in that bag? And you're like, oh, digital cameras and Fabergé eggs. And they're like, it's no problem, we'll check it for you. And you're like, motherfucker. I am a grass toucher, there's no doubt. I love touching grass. I also love when the CEO of a company says, hey, we took down our website so you can touch grass, even though he tweets 15,000 times a day. I also love when everybody's like, wow, look at the changes he's making on Twitter. He's so smart. Look at how much activity on Twitter has gone up. And then like the activity on Twitter is making it unprofitable. And they're like, look at how smart he is. He did something to reduce the activity on Twitter to make the website fucking not as unprofitable. It's just more episodes of no matter what happens, it's always genius, man. Yeah, he completely ruined it, but it was losing a lot of money. So actually, it was like 4D chess. I couldn't believe, so like it must have been Saturday, I guess, but on Saturday my Twitter kind of broke, and I was like, it's not that unusual these days. Then I came back to my phone like 7 hours later, and the first tweet that I saw was one of those like content aggregator piece of shit fake news outlets, those like, pop base or something like that. And the tweet was like, Elon has raised the amount of tweets you can see as a free viewer up to 800. And I was like, wait a minute. I thought this outlet just sucked. I didn't realize it's actually The Onion. Like they're making satire now. And I thought it was kind of funny. And then I looked at it closer and I was like, oh shit, that's real? I was just out for like running some errands or something like that. I came back. It was like, you can't, free users can no longer read the website. I hit the limit in 5 minutes of scrolling past garbage. Well, my favorite is the idiots who tweet like 1,000 times a day. They're like, 600's kind of a lot. I'm like, no, it fucking isn't. You read a tweet in like 2 seconds. It's not like reading 600 pages of a book, where it would take you hours. It's like the average tweet is like 2 emojis and a gif of like a guy dunking a basketball. Like it's, you do 100 every time you do this. Like, I'm not going grimace mode. I just have a lavender shirt. It's not a purple shirt, it's lavender. It's 2 very different shades, okay? It's a white t-shirt that got washed with some purple clothes. No, it's not, but you're freaking me out a little bit because I was thinking while I was doing laundry this weekend, I was like, you know what I haven't seen in media a long time? Is like a dad's white dress shirts getting ruined because their son threw like a red hat into the washing machine. And then the dad has to wear pink shirts. And he's like, oh my God, it's the 1990s. What are the other people at the office going to think if I wear a pink dress shirt to the office? But like, I wouldn't call it a conspiracy, but I do think it's kind of crazy. Back when I was a kid, my parents, well, my dad is like a pretty stereotypical, he's not a boomer. I don't know why I'm beating around the bush. He doesn't know how to use the washing machine, which is comical because anybody who's used the washing machine knows that it's literally like you press 2 buttons. Holy cow, you got me because of that one up on the Triceratops. How dare you? It's boomer energy, but he's more of like a Gen X. Anyway, but as a kid, my mom was always very diligent about separating the clothes. The all white clothes all go together because you use like a bleach-based detergent that can cause the color to leach. And then multicolored clothes all go together, and then you could do it in like a cold water rinse instead. There's things that you'll try in college maybe, or the first time you live on your own, and you'll realize why everybody's been doing it the way that they do it. As a young adult, you're like, the world is so stupid, I got everything figured out. Why don't I just eat food out of my pot that I cooked it in? And then, You do that for like 2 years and you're like, I'm a genius. I saved 4 seconds on doing the dishes per night times 30,000 days on Earth. And it's like, I got a free year. Then you read an article that's like, have you been using a spoon to eat out of nonstick pans? You have eaten so much Teflon, you're going to die in 5 years, right? And you're like, oh, I see why people plated stuff. Now, anyway, but when I was in that phase, I said, it was ironic because I had nothing but time. But in my head, I was like, ain't nobody got time, sure, to separate all of their laundry. I'm just throwing it all in at once with some detergent and letting it ride. And if all of my clothes turn a muddy shade of brown, then so be it. You know, that's the cost of doing business. I have maybe one time in 17 years of doing my own laundry, maybe one time I've had some bleed onto like a white shirt or something like that. And even that was probably like 2008. Like they've patched it since then. I think detergents have gotten better. That makes sense to me. I fully buy it. Patch notes for laundry. I know. And every time I like see a washing machine, I'm like, why is this shit so complicated? But every time I use a washing machine, I'm like, you know, these fuckers at Maytag, they got it all figured out, man. Turns out they do know what they're doing. Now, I will never download a washing machine routine from the internet and then side load it into my washing machine. Like, that seems like a step too far. I'll just push on the button that says normal and then press the button that says start. Sometimes there's just 90% of my washing is done on the normal setting. And then 10% of my washing is like, I don't know if this shit can go into the washing machine. So what do? I put it in the washing machine and then I hit the button that says delicates. And I have never suffered the consequences. If I ever, or there's a third one. I've got some sweaters that say they're dry clean only. So I just wear that shit. And then when I take it off, I look at the tag and I go, oh shit, dry clean only. And then I just hang it back up in the closet. And I'm like, maybe once every couple of years, I'll make a run to the dry cleaner or something. But I figure like if it's dirty in February, I might not wear that shit again until next December. Surely like all the dirt is dead by then, right? Like eventually if there's like bacteria, they got nothing left to eat in there. I almost said alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth, but they ain't got no toothbrush. You can buy a dry cleaning thing that you can put in your dryer with your dry clean only clothes. Really? I thought dry cleaning was like, don't they use like insanely toxic chemicals to kill all life on your shirt? Like all the zooplankton and shit? Like isn't dry cleaning so toxic that when they sell a dry cleaner, like they have to rehabilitate the soil under the store? How you getting zooplankton on your shirt? I don't know, they're fucking everywhere, right? Got weird little worms that live in the sebaceous glands of our nose and stuff. I just assume like I'm covered with all sorts of creepy crawly animals and shit. It is true. Like I wish like when you bought, I mean, this is mostly just me complaining about being stupid. Because what I was gonna say is I wish when you bought clothes they told you if it was like dry clean only. But they definitely do. It's on the tag. But like I wish that, you know how like when you try to buy rat poison at Home Depot, it forces someone who's worked there for 12 minutes to come over and look at your ID. Like they should have the same thing at clothing stores. Like when they scan it, it should be like, beep, beep, this is dry clean only. And I'd be like, oh shit, thank you, put it back. I don't want that. It looks really nice, but realistically, I'm not ever gonna clean it. Do the Corey, just put him in the freezer. It's true. Gets me every time, man. I remember when he... Oh, he got me. How many people are running a damn iguana this day and age, man? I remember when Corey told me for the first time he put his jeans in the freezer. Got me good. Do you ever try to win or do you just troll for content? Sometimes it's like fun to just be like, oh, I've never seen this before, and then give it a chance. And then most of the time, you piece of shit. Most of the time, like it doesn't work, but sometimes it does. And then you go pog. And then the YouTube title is called like, they said it couldn't work. It's not trolling. If I was trolling, I would say, like, why do they call the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once? When all I need to find is the power button on my remote to turn it off. That's trolling, okay? -2, -2. I made you mad, ergo I won the troll, okay? I've never seen it. I know it's. I mean, even if I watched it and I didn't like it, I would just lie to you and say that it was like my favorite movie of all time because you know, I know people love it. My mom is cooler than me, by the way. You probably already knew this. Maybe I did this. It's not a bit. It's like a real story. My mom and dad saw Asteroid City at the indie movie theater in my hometown, like on Wednesday. That's crazy. I didn't even know it was in theaters yet. They saw that shit like opening day. It's so boring. It's kind of mid. I asked my mom, I said, how did you like it? She said, it was pretty good, pretty typical Wes Craven. And I said, and then I said, to which I replied, I think you mean Wes Anderson, unless there's vampires in it. And she said, oh yes, Wes Anderson, haha. How do you, can I tell you something? Evolution of me cooking scrambled eggs. 15, 16 years old, start cooking eggs for myself. I know I was a bit of a late bloomer, okay? When I was in first year of university, no joke, I called my mom and asked her how to make canned soup. If for anybody that maybe is too anxious to ask the question to their own parents, you open the can, you put it in a pot, and then you put it on the stove until it's warm. You basically can't fuck it up. It's the easiest food. It's already cooked. You just have to apply energy to it. Anyway, as a teenager, scrambled them in a bowl, poured the bowl into the pan, continued to scramble them in the pan. Enjoyed it. University, got a little bit more into cooking. Said, you know what? Gordon Ramsay says you don't do that. You never scramble them in the bowl, because if you scramble them in the bowl, then it denatures the, and you never salt them early, because if you salt them early, it denatures the protein, and then the eggs will get all gummy. Takes me 15 minutes to make the fucking Gordon Ramsay perfect scrambled egg. 24, I just said, fuck that, I'm scrambling them in the bowl again. I've gotten so, and what's most fucked up about it is that, like, I feel like my lifestyle in university was like a rejection of like my high school life. And then my lifestyle, like right after university, was like a re-embracing of my high school life, a rejection of my university life. And it's just like, you ever stop and think? Like if you ask the person, like, when were you at your dumbest? The answer is always going to be like 7 years ago. I feel like if you asked like a 58-year-old man, when were you at your dumbest? They would say, in my mid-40s or something like that. I mean, when were you, like, logically the dumbest? Probably, like, well, like, teenager or early 20s. Because early 20s is, like, it's easier to be dumb because you have actual responsibilities. Like, as a teenager, you could be dumb, but, like, unless you get into some criminal shit, like, you don't face any consequences. But if you're, like, 20, 25... and you're like, check it out, I'm going to, like, you know, publicly urinate next to the Dollarama or something like that, you could get arrested. If you're like 14, they'll be like, what are you doing, kid? Go home and play Roblox hide and seek. I could destroy a baby in a debate. Well, in the eyes of, like, Plato, I completely believe you. In the eyes of, like, observers, I think the baby could do better than you think. I'm not saying win. But because the baby would disrupt the argument, and it would distract you, and it would try to engage in ad hominem attacks, etc., etc. So according to Plato, you would be the winner of the debate. But, like, if it was based on a plebiscite, if it was based on a popular vote, I think there might be 50+1% of the people out there watching would be like, the baby kind of owned you. No, it didn't own me. When it started to lose the debate, it just started to cry. Yeah, and then you went, so it seemed like the baby had a pretty good point, honestly. Baby gets to 273 for sure. 273, holy cow, they're taking like the 20th district of New Hampshire too. Baby clears. Has anyone here actually consumed Wheaties? Stop it! No! I feel like as a kid, I had like imposter syndromes with Wheaties. Like, I felt like I can't buy Wheaties because I wasn't like a student athlete. But it's gotta all be marketing. Like, weren't they just wheat? It wasn't even like infused with gorilla mindset or nothing. They turned a week-old cardboard after like 1 week in the pantry. I'm not defending Wheaties because, again, I've never consumed them. No cereal lasts a week in my cupboard. I guess if I bought like more cereals, like they could, but I just eat a lot of cereal, man. I'm like a 2 big bowls a day cereal guy. I was maybe not every day is a two a day, but most days are a 2 a day. I usually eat a big one. Just phrasing could use some work. I usually eat a big bowl after I work out in the morning. It just hits the spot, probably because there's like 40 grams of sugar in it. And then before bed, I'm like, oh, I'm a little peckish. What could I go for? And of course, I'm getting a bowl of cereal. And then, you know, if it's my second bowl of the day, my ass is not eating a half-size bowl of my first one. That means like, I'm not even rewarding myself for a job well done. So I got to pour that shit to like the same level as the first one. Otherwise, the whole time I ate it, I would just be like, oh, I'm not even having as much cereal as I had the first time. Have you spoken to a therapist about your issues with food? No, they don't want to talk to me. I told you. And it's like, it makes people upset, but it's not like I even have like multiple cereals in the rotation. I'm literally just a straight up, like, I'm a Vector guy. I just eat Vector. And it pisses me off because then people go, what the fuck is Vector? And I'm like, Americans don't know Vector? It's pretty good. It's like, I'm not saying it's good for you, but it's a cereal that's marketed as being better for you. I used, as an aspiring Marvel superhero in high school, I used to eat Kashi Go Lean Crunch, but I think the shit did like permanent damage to my teeth. Like I don't know where that shit is on the Mohs scale of hardness, but it's got to be like above eating diamonds. But it actually is like damaging for your teeth. So now I eat Vector instead. It's because you're supposed to put milk on it? Then you should put the fucking milk in the box, okay? Get a Magic Spoon sponsorship? No, I don't think it tastes very good. Sorry. If anyone from Magic Spoon is watching, send me your best offer. I am open to changing my opinion if you pass me a big sack of money with the $sign painted on it. They do call Vector a meal replacement, which is very funny to me, because it's like, it's not really like a meal replacement. It's like I'm eating it as like a meal. It's like if you ate lunch and they were like, just so you know, this sandwich is like a meal replacement. I'm like, I know. Yeah, it's not a meal replacement. It's like it's a meal. So I don't know why they call it a meal replacement. It just, like, it makes me feel like I'm eating something I shouldn't be eating. Why are you entering your Gorbachev era on July 4th? Because I fucking hit my head, man. I got this thing right here. It's not an anti-American bit. Also, Gorbachev was the USSR leader that was, like, most amenable to the Western interests. So if anything, it's relatively complimentary. If I wanted to make today about being a traitor to America, I would have chosen a recent president. Oh, man. You should have seen your fucking face, dude. Who, though? You know. You just think about it for a minute. I got 4 wins on this one. No, thank you. Gerald Ford. Unironically, kind of, though. Dude becomes the president. First thing he does is play the Uno reverse card on the legal repercussions for Richard Nixon. Like, come on, man. Did the shit that Richard Nixon did, was it actually that bad? Because Frank Langella is very charismatic as Richard Nixon in Frost v. Nixon. Well, wasn't like one of the worst things a person's ever done Watergate can't even be like in the top 10 worst things that Richard Nixon did, right? Like, he was in the Vietnam, he was the leader on the American side of the Vietnam War for like 7 years or something like that. And that's just the first thing that comes to mind. Didn't he wiretap his opponents? Okay, listen, I'm not trying to say it's okay, but like, didn't he fucking, like, it's the World Chess Championship, and he put like a surveillance device in the hotel room of his opponent, and as a result, he got a little bit of a jump on their opening prep. So when they came in and they're like, check this out, boom, Dutch opening, he was like, he had done extensive prep for the Dutch opening. He loved wiretapping. I'm not saying that that's good. All I'm saying is it that bad? Relative to some other things that presidents could have done and have also definitely done. I guess what I'm trying to say is not why is Watergate so notorious, but rather why does it seem like there's like a new Watergate like once every couple of months, but then it's just like nothing happens. Like after Watergate, that dude had the exfil. You ever see he was on the White House lawn going like this, peace and love, peace and love. I know I was like a driving force for the war, but peace and love, everybody, peace and love. And then he took a helicopter out. I can't believe Bill Clinton got his dick sucked in the Oval Office. Listen, you fucker. He didn't inhale, okay? Isn't that enough for you? Or when are you gonna let it go, okay? It's been 10 years. It's kind of crazy Watergate was 10 years ago. I know, right? And like, I'm so old, I get fucking Watergate confused with OceanGate. Am I right, Kevin? Did you hear about this one? I don't know. I'm just spitballing. Anyway. -2? That came to me in a flash of genius, man. I am getting old, though. This is such a segue into, like, my type 5. I am getting old, though. You know you're getting old when you start to think it's crazy that historical events happened in your lifetime. It's fucking insane to me that I was alive when the Berlin Wall fell down. My ass was... When I took my first breath on planet Earth, the USSR was still a country. Okay, question mark? Well, I'm not trying to say like it makes me special. I'm just saying it, like I'm so old that I'm starting to doubt like my own birth year because I'm like, that sounds like too long ago. We hate Jackie Chan now. Yeah, dude, I got grifted by it. I knew Jackie Chan had some skeletons in his closet, but when I saw the viral tweet that was like, here's him and his daughter reacting to like his old movies, and she says like, wow, Dad, you're amazing. It, you know, almost got me to cry a little bit. And then like a minute later, the community note popped up that was like, actually, Jackie Chan, this is an actress from a movie that Jackie Chan was in. Jackie Chan is estranged from his daughter because she's a lesbian and he told her he never wants to see her ever again. And I was like, what? So I got fucking gaslit into weeping because of like a heartfelt Huawei commercial or something. Do Canadians celebrate 4th of July? If you're in America or you have American friends, like we kind of celebrated 4th of July last year because it fell on a weekend, I think, and we were at our in-laws' place in Washington. Traitor? I celebrated Canada Day too. I told you I listened to Underwhelmed by Sloan. I know I shouldn't bring this up because I just like, I mean, it's an own goal. But I really just don't like fireworks. And I know you're probably gonna say like, oh yeah, because it like triggers PTSD and also like dogs hate it. No, I just don't like them. I just don't get it. For me, it's like in that same class of stuff like dancing, skydiving, stuff like that, where I'm like, I just don't get it. Like when I see them go off, I'm like, it looks... I don't even want to say it looks cool, but like every single one, it goes off and you're like, this lights, like I've seen it before. It doesn't, no dancing? Yeah, I don't like dancing. Like the reason I say it's the same thing is because like when I go dancing, if I'm at someone's wedding and people are like, you got to get on the dance floor. Like I'm dancing out there, but I'm not I'm not hating myself, but I'm not having fun. I'm just sort of like moving my body. It doesn't inspire any emotion in me. You need to be hammered? I've been hammered. There's just something about it. Like, I don't know. Like, eating a hot dog inspires joy within me. Eating a hamburger. And also some things that are not eating, but we don't need to talk about them here. But, like, fireworks just never really struck me. Like, I would... If you said, hey, you could either, like, eat a hot dog or see fireworks tonight, I would already be like, oh, sorry, what'd you say? I would be eating the hot dog that fast. Hey, did you see that Tyson Farms is using antibiotics on chickens again? Motherfucker. That means I can't get my ciprofloxacin, man. Also, as a kid, every time there was like a fireworks experience, it was like always really fun. And then like one firework went errant and people were like, oh shit. And then like a pall falls over the whole party. And people like go looking for where the firework landed to make sure it doesn't burn down like their whole forest or backyard or whatever. But meanwhile, like all the other fireworks are like still going off at the same time, and you're like, all right. Just doesn't seems like there's every year you see videos of. Well, I mean, did you see? Did you see the one where sometimes on Twitter I get impatient. If someone posts like a 2-minute video on Twitter, I get impatient. So it was like, I've never seen a fireworks explosion go this badly. I watched like the first 10 seconds and it was just like, pew, 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 pew. And then I was like, this is too slow. And then I skipped ahead to 90 seconds and the car in the driveway was like engulfed in flames. That's how quickly it can go wrong, okay? I'm not trying to say that you can't use fireworks safely. I'm just saying, like, for me, it's not fun enough to compensate for the potential danger level. That video is from June 30th too? Alright, that's pretty funny though. You're never getting into Valhalla? I don't believe in all that Valhalla stuff. I know it'll probably like offend you, but like when I returned that lady's phone to her, her sons are being very nice to me. I very much appreciate it. Then one of them said, God bless you. And I said, get owned, bozo. I don't believe in that shit. Oh, God bless me? Oh, could you be more specific and tell me which God blessed me? Because I'm not sure if you know this, but what you might think is your God is a little different than what might be my God. And also, have you ever read in Deuteronomy 68-1 when he says, thou shalt not lose your phone. Thou shalt always do the 3 taps. So you always know that you have your keys, your phone, and your wallet on you at all times, and then you could prevent this situation. Oh, God bless me. Well, if there was a God that prevented bad things from happening to good people, why didn't he prevent you from getting your phone stolen in the first place? Hey, where are you going? Where are you going? If you were a dog, what type would you be? Great question. I feel like I could be like some kind of hound. I know how this sounds, given that I'm a streamer. As a result, I don't really contribute to society. But like, I don't like to just like sort of sit around and not do anything. I always want to, because when you sit around and you don't do things, that's where the voice starts talking, you know? So you got to constantly be like, I'm going to mow the fucking lawn. I'm going to go, etc. So I think I would be like a dog that like does stuff. And I feel like hounds are dogs that do things. And I was going to say German Shepherd, but then they only work for like the police, right? And I knew chat was going to cancel me for that. So instead I said hound because I'm pretty sure that they work for like private detectives who are trying to find like missing persons and stuff like that, which is much more based, I think. It would be funny if German Shepherds weren't like the police dogs of choice. Like if things shook out a little bit different and then like poodles were actually great police dogs. Can you imagine? Yeah, a Pomeranian, like a French bulldog or something like that. All right, hey, princess, what did this scumbag do? He's got 1 gram of oregano in his pocket. Send him to prison for life. Good dog, good dog. I can't really like spin around, but can I tell you something insane? I was trying to think of how to phrase this. I'm not at all scared of dogs. There's some animals I could be scared of. Like if I saw like a wolf or a bear in the park or something like that, I would freak out. But if there was like if I walked by a house and there's like an angry dog, it's not even getting my heart rate up, man. Even if I like walked away and then its chain broke and then it started chasing me, I honestly just don't see me getting fucking owned by the dog. I think I would just kick it in the head when it tried to jump at me. And people were like, you've never been bitten by one? So I bought a bike radio at Canadian Tire when I was 12, and I was fucking zooming around on my bike listening to K-Rock 105.7. And I rode by my neighbor's house, which was like a kilometer away because we lived in the country, and their dog was going like, it was like so mad at me. And then when I rode my bike back, because I had to go back to get to my house, the dog started fucking chasing me, and I was like, ah! And then he jumped up and he bit me on the hip. And I got back to my parents' house. My parents were there. My grandparents were there. And I was like, hey, Grandma, a dog bit me on the hip when I was riding my bike. And they were like, oh, shit. And I was like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it drew a little blood, but it's not that big of a deal. Then my grandma was like, it's a big deal. Then my mom and dad came home from the grocery store and fucking flipped out. And I had to go to the hospital and get a tetanus shot. Anyway, I don't think the dog got put down, for the record. But you might say, well, then, like, that dog beat you. No, I let the dog beat me. Even as, like, a 12-year-old, I think I could have taken the fucking dog. I just didn't want to beat the dog to death in front of its owner. I said, whatever, you bit me, I'm going to be the bigger man and pedal away. I know this is like a little Mark Wahlberg. I feel like if I was at, like, a park with my daughter and a dog started getting like, you know, up on our ass or something, you better make sure you got a fucking black dog belt in jiu-jitsu or something, because it's not going down the way you think it's going down, a little hazelnut inside of your skull. Would you kick it or punch it? Fucking dealer's choice, brother. I don't really know what that means. No, like, I mean, listen, I'm recognized. I mean, I feel like everybody has some like insane thoughts that they know are insane. Can't below back door. Oh no! But like, some insane stuff that they in their head recognize is insane, but still like they believe it. You know what I mean? Like I believe that I could defeat any dog in combat. Maybe like a trained German Shepherd might be close. But then there's also a part of me that's like, I don't know, there's like some strong dogs out there. I will not listen to reason, I guess is what I'm trying to say. No matter how much logic you come at me with, and you're like, well, this dog has a 14,000 PSI bite force. Okay, well, like, be that as it may, he's not biting me. So his bite force is irrelevant, because the second he tries to take a jump at me, I'm going to catch him with the roundhouse right to the side of his head. A pack of dogs, I would say it's not unrealistic that maybe like a pack of dogs could have a chance. If there were 2 German Shepherds, I think I'd be in trouble, because I can't kick both legs at the same time. But if they, unless, if we're talking about like pugs, I honestly think I could take on like 20 pugs. Any dog you could pick up and like throw. I mean, it's like this scene where Neo's taking on all those Agent Smiths in the playground. I feel you could just grab like one pug by the back legs and just like spin him around and like knock down all the other pugs. Then like throw him over your shoulder. You could not fight 20 of any dog. Bro, I could fight 20 pugs. Now this is one German Shepherd. Okay, I don't know. I'd have to talk to like a veterinarian about that. I could take 20 pugs though. Come on, what are they gonna do? Any vets in the chat? What do you do about 20 dogs jumping at you at once? They're not dogs, they're pugs, man. Like, what am I gonna do? What are they gonna do? They're gonna jump on each other's backs to try to like gnash at my face? No pug is jumping up and biting me like on the torso. They might get to my shins. Okay, well, here's the thing. Maybe we're like, it's different strokes for different folks. People are saying 20 pugs is way too many. Okay, how many pugs could you take out then? Now, please keep in mind, we're two different individuals. 4 or 5? I think you're underestimating. I don't even know like who you are. I think you're underestimating yourself. Depends if I have shoes on. Yeah, I'd like to have shoes on. But anytime I would encounter 20 dogs, unless it's like a home invasion, I think I'm going to have shoes on. So 20 just makes sense to me. Because I don't even think, I mean, at some point you hit like diminishing returns. Like, I don't think 20 dogs, let me rephrase. I don't think 20 pugs could fight effectively. Like, at some point you probably hit like, you know, 10 pugs, and then they could all get an angle of attack. But like at 20, some of them are just waiting for the next blow, right? I don't want to fight 20 dogs. I'm just saying, like, if I rode my bike past someone's house and then like 20 pugs, well, I wouldn't even fight 20 pugs, like, because I would just like jog away, like. But if for some reason I got like kidnapped and they were like, in order to live, you have to fight 20 pugs, like it's you or the pugs, then yeah, it's the pugs. Sorry. I'm a little upset by all the people saying I couldn't take 20 pugs. I mean, that's just... People say it's not even close. It's like... That would be great, dude, if they made a streamer Saw, where streamers had to actually reckon with all the insane stuff they've said on stream before. Watch like a 6'1" Twitch streamer try to dunk a basketball in the NBA. Dunk a basketball against a 7'1" NBA center. I say this jokingly sometimes, but like, I did genuinely lose a little faith in humanity reading the replies where people said, like, you could not get my ass to stay on that airplane. She looked so terrified. I'm not sure, like, I 100% believe what she was saying, but she's got such conviction, I have to get off. Like, people were like, I can't believe nobody walked off the airplane with her. Everyone looked back, though. Well, honestly, if I was on an airplane and someone said, that motherfucker at the back isn't real, I'm looking at least. Like, it's a pretty low, you know, cost just to look backwards. I don't know what I'd be expecting to see, because if I see someone, then they're real. If I don't see anybody, I can't prove that there's nobody there, you know? If someone said that I'm opening the door 800 feet above the runway, maybe it's just because I've lived on the earth for a while. Whereas Chibli, the jury's still out how long you've lived on the earth. So we're figuring it out bit by bit. We got dead bees! But like, my first reaction if someone had like an episode like that on an airplane, I would be like, holy cow, she's on drugs. I think probably like nervous to fly, took like a prescription antidepressant like before she left for the airport, got to the airport, forgot she took the antidepressant, had 3 glasses of wine, and then sat in seat 39J and was like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Are you guys seeing this shit? There's an unreal motherfucker back here. You ever read the Ambien subreddit? I've read the Ambien subreddit a couple times in my life. You go to the doctor because you got problems sleeping. Next thing you know, you wake up with like a build your own hot tub on your front step. Get visited by the Hat Man or whatever. I don't take Ambien. I did have a prescription for Ambien once. I'm sorry, I don't know if librarians dredged this one up. It is crazy though, like there are some things that you can get without having to like be a squeaky wheel. I've told you the story before when I told my doctor that we were going to Japan and I wanted like one Ambien that I could take on the flight. She was like, oh, she didn't even write me a prescription. She was like, the company that makes Ambien gave me like a bunch of free samples to give away. So here's like 20 Ambiens. I was like, what the hell? Just gave me the pill, like no questions asked. Then I wanted some damn antibiotics. Everybody in the emergency room is like, why do you want the antibiotics so bad? Why do you want the ciprofloxacin so bad, huh? It's just a little sus that you're so in here. You're like so focused on the antibiotics. Oh, well, I think I have a bacterial infection. Oh, really? Well, why don't you just wait 11 days because it's Canada Day / July 4th weekend, and we'll see about that. We were going to Japan. It was the first time I was going to Japan. I was like, I don't want to be fucked up when I get off the plane, but I don't sleep well on flights. So it's going to be like a 10-hour flight. I would love to have like one Ambien. She came back with like 10 free sample Big Pharma things of Ambien and was like, here you go. So before I went on the flight, I read like side effects of Ambien, and it scared the shit out of me. It might as well have said, don't take it on an airplane, because if shit goes down, like, you're fucked. You're gonna like hallucinate and cause a scene. So I said, I'd rather just be tired. So I never took the Ambien on the flight. Then, like, I remained scared of it. I would say once a month when I had trouble sleeping. There were probably like 12 Ambien in the container. Once a month when I had trouble sleeping, I would chop a damn Ambien in half, eat that, and fall asleep like in 15 minutes. I guess I was always worried. It seems like a drug you could easily develop a dependency on. Because like sleeping is something you have to do like every day. So I feel like if you get to the point where you're like, I gotta take this Ambien to go to sleep, like, you're fucked. I'm already there with caffeine. I don't wanna... The side effects of caffeine, you're like, oh, I'm a little jittery. Side effect of Ambien is like, Roseanne Barr tweeting. I don't know, it's just a little too scary for me. I'm not scared of dogs, yet you get scared by a pill? I can get scared, I beat the pill, because I didn't take it. So I'd love to know how that's being scared of a pill. Also, I think it's very reasonable to be more scared of pills than dogs. I don't hear a lot of like an epidemic. Oh, people are getting bitten by dogs all over the world. I've had hundreds of fatal dog attacks this year so far. The trick is we need safer dogs. Because the dogs are illegal, people that are bad actors have control of the dog supply. You never know what kind of dog the dog's got in it. That's why we need the government to provide a safe supply of dogs, so that if you do choose to get bitten by a dog, you know it's a dog with a tolerable bite force. I like the Nightbot post that says we can't get tweets by user northernlion. Nightbot, it's not my fault. They made the API cost $1 billion. Elon. Elon. Are you a sweet or savory crepes sort of guy? See, now we're talking, because my wife loves crepes, so I eat a lot of crepes. I like crepes too. I'm not anti-crepe. Hey, relax here. Oh! I'm a savory crepe. Crepe? I'm a savory crepe eater. Without a doubt. I would take some smoked salmon and dill with a little bit of cream cheese or something. A creme fraiche, perhaps. Even just like sometimes you'll get a crepe place that will make you like a Mediterranean crepe. Like a chicken shawarma crepe or something like that. I'm down with it 100%. I see what you're doing there in the chat, by the way. I want you to know I do respect it. I'm a crepe. I'm a weird dough. What the hell am I doing here? Would you drink a 12-ounce Gatorade of your choice for $1 trillion? Nope. I would take the dinner with Jay-Z. Here's a better question. Everybody knows that it's not worth $500,000. It's not worth missing out on $500,000 to have dinner with Jay-Z. What is the smallest amount of money you would not even pay, because I think it psychologically makes a difference. What's the smallest amount of money you would give, what's the largest amount of money you would give up in order to have dinner with Jay-Z. Like I would skip $20 to have dinner with Jay-Z for sure. I would pass on a $500 opportunity to have dinner with Jay-Z. But I don't think I'd go higher than that. And it's not even because I think I would get $500 worth of advice. I just think it would be interesting to talk to Jay-Z. But then it probably like, I'd be like, hey, Jay-Z, I love some of your work. He'd be like, thanks. And I'd be like, what's Beyonce like? And he'd be like, she's cool. And then I'd be eating like fucking, shit's costing me like $10 a minute, man. What do I should have done some more prep. Oh, fuck. He's got to be goated in business negotiations. Did you see that Jack Dorsey, former CEO of Twitter, current CEO of Block, got sued by his own shareholders because he bought such a large position in Tidal, the Jay-Z affiliated music service? And then you might say, why did he get sued? And, well, the position of the shareholders was that it was not a legitimate deal made for business purposes. It was basically a deal that Jack Dorsey made because he wanted to spend time with Jay-Z in the Hamptons. And then the judge ruled in Jack Dorsey's favor and said there's no law against making bad business deals. Oof. 10 times the judge understood the assignment. When you win the case, but you lose the judge's respect. Did you guys see that leaked Jalen Green video? Anyone else on NBA Twitter here? Was it Jalen Green? It got me laughing, man. Again, I don't know anything about basketball, but the video was him at a party with his bros. Everybody's got their clothes on. He's got his legs up over the other guy's shoulder, and they're mimicking humping and like laughing. Oh man, it got me so good. I didn't even see like the video. I saw the flight reaction of the video where he just like he's like talking and then the action starts and he just like looks straight down.
This is Jalen Green when he was younger, I'm guessing, or now, Jalen Green and Josh Christopher, much respect. You know, NBA game and basketball skills and everything. What they choose to like and their preference is totally up to them.
And then he says something like, you know, no disrespect to the way anyone wants to live their lives. Oh, man. There's one for a librarian to put in the video. I don't even know who anybody involved in the story is, but I definitely think it's really funny. The guy he's humping is on his team in the NBA. It's just, you know, I really don't have anything to say about it, except I think that guys are hilarious. But I definitely never got together with my friends and started like simulating having intercourse with each other. And if we did it, I definitely would not have put my ankles on my dog's shoulders. Like that's just a step. That's beyond what I'm willing to do. But there's probably definitely would be at a party sometimes. We'd be like, you know, peeing at the same time. We'd be like, nice dick. Of course. It's your July penis inspection. Nice cock. We weren't pretending to hump each other and putting our ankles on each other's shoulders. I mean, like, that's just like a step too far for me. But, I mean, I could see how it could get there. Would you prefer to have his legs on your shoulders or your legs on his shoulders? I'd prefer to have his legs on my shoulders. And I know what you're going to say. That says something about you. And I think you're right. Most of the time I would say I don't think it does. But I think, yes, I think that it does say something about me. I'm not going to deny that. I don't think I would feel right with my legs on his shoulders, honestly. It's huge info. What is this conversation? I'm just saying if I was in the NBA and I like had to, like there's like, it's just I had to do it to like be on the team, I would want to be the dude who has his shoulders ankled, not the dude who's ankling the shoulders. Just say top? I don't know what that means. I thought I put it out in no uncertain terms. You're either shouldering ankles or you're ankling shoulders. Me personally, I see myself as a shoulder ankler, not an ankling shoulder. It was a visual representation. I was just thinking of the Lemmy picture where he edits himself so it looks like he's fucking himself in his own ass. This, oh man, you got it backwards. Sorry, he's getting fucked in the ass by himself. I guess this man is too offline. I do be pretty offline. I was having like conversations with people at the park. Voila, une conversation dans le parc. Ooh! What kind of psycho does that? I don't know. I'm still figuring out how things work, you know, because we just moved. I'm used to, like, you know, living in a place where everybody who sees you ignores you because, like, your existence means nothing to them except an obstacle. Then we moved, and occasionally I'd, you know, I'll be walking around and I'll see people, and out of nowhere they'll be like, hi. And I'll say hi. And then they go, nice weather. And I'm like, I don't even know who you are. Is this what we do out here? I'm relearning like how to live life, man. People are like pleased to see you. I know that's the most fucked up part is that it's nice. As a teenager, I was like this, I don't know who you are, don't talk to me. As an adult, I'm like, holy cow. Human communication. My ass is like, I gotta buy a patio set and invite all my neighbors over for like a Korea barbecue or something. They get in my head about it, and I'm like, wow, why? If I'm gonna buy the patio set though, we shouldn't just do it once. Maybe we should set up like a. Can I set up like a next door where like every Friday, maybe like every Friday, maybe like 2 Fridays a month, we could do like a Korea barbecue for everybody on the block. That'd be a lot of fun. Someone's gonna mow their lawn at like 10:15 p.m. once, and I'm gonna. I was gonna say burn down their house. I'm just saying it's a fragile. This goodwill that I have right now is very fragile. Yeah, we're not winning this one. I'm embarrassed I even needed to do the math. Yeah, I flipped on autopilot to talk about society. You're absolutely right. Joker. I was thinking about it. Is there any other like creator who has as high of a high completely out of nowhere as the dude who made Joker versus Pennywise on the subway? That video is like an actual 10 out of 10 certified platinum internet classic for me. Sold 10 million copies. Joker and Pennywise dancing on the subway. Every other video that I ever saw that they made was the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Hang on. I don't know. It's Joker versus Pennywise dance battle subway France video. Alright, this is it right here.
Oh my god! Oh, Joker! Pennywise! Joker! Pennywise! Joker! Grips! Undertaker the Joker! The grips of the grip! Oh my god, for this shit! La grip papier! Pennywise c'est bon là! Penny House!
What does he say, man? Penny House.
Oh, Joker! What is it? Grips Susa!
Grip Susa.
Earthquake! 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 Oh my god! Earthquake! Oh my god!
Anyway, I'm just saying, that's an all-time video for me. Everything else they made is horrible, in my opinion. Look at the top comment. A bald Canadian playing Fall Guys took me here. I must say, I'm not disappointed. There you go. What can I say? But is there a director like that? You know, like Neill Blomkamp made District 9, which is crazy. In many ways, I would say that District 9 is Neill Blomkamp's Joker versus Pennywise on the Metro. And then like everything else they made is like horrible. I have stories about Gran Torino and about District 9. Because someone said my mom had a first date to District 9 and she hated it. First off, L to your mom. L to your mother. I saw District 9 at a movie theater by myself. I was still in college. I woke up at, I don't know, like 9 a.m. All my roommates were still asleep. And I was like, these fuckers are going to sleep forever. So I walked to the movie theater, got like a ticket for 11:01 a.m. showing of District 9. Fucking watched that shit myself. Enjoyed it, loved it, walked home. People were just waking up and eating. They said, where'd you go? I said, you lazy motherfuckers, I already walked 30 minutes, watched a 2-hour-long movie and walked 30 minutes back. What have you accomplished today? Now, Gran Torino, the story is not so nice. In college, my girlfriend and I were on the rocks, and then she texted me like one day, and she was like, do you want to see a movie this weekend? We could watch Gran Torino. And then I was like, in my head, I was like, I don't want to go fucking see Gran Torino and then get broken up with. So I was just like, are you sure? And then she was like, do we have to do this? And I was like, oh, I get it. Did you see Gran Torino? I saw it on TV like maybe a couple of years ago. I got nothing against Gran Torino. It's not Gran Torino's fault. I saw a lot of bad movies at the movie theater when that relationship was on the rocks. Last Chance Harvey. Saw some good ones too, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Holy, dude, that's a classic. Iron Man 1. Saw some stinkers too, though. Anyway. Iron Man 1 is a good movie, man. Iron Man 1 is a good movie. I don't care if you are bad chesting. It's got Jeff Bridges in it. It's got Jeff Bridges in it. I simply don't want these units, though. They're just not good. You're kind of good with it. I honestly think a worm's kind of crazy with it this week. I think the worm might be the secret this week. And if anything, fuck a fish. It's the fuck a fish challenge, okay? How about 2 worms? Did anybody ever ask T-Pain in the song I'm on a Boat by The Lonely Island, and T-Pain does the guest verse? He says he fucked a mermaid. Did anyone ever ask him if it was top half woman, bottom half fish, or flipped around? And were the mermaid's fins on his shoulders, or were his ankles on the mermaid's... I don't know if a fish has shoulders, so I don't really know what to call it. He shouldered the fins. He doesn't fin the shoulders. Okay, that's good to hear. He struck me as the kind of guy that would shoulder the fins, not fin the shoulders. He got railed by a mermaid? I don't know how they do it in Hollywood, okay? Or Tallahassee or what the fuck ever. This is their business, not mine. I don't know what I'm talking about. It feels good to be back, though. I'm telling you, I think, like... I can't take this many more long weekends. Like, I can take a 3-day weekend, but sometimes the weekends are getting too long, man. It's okay when you're on, like, vacation and you're relaxing, but, like, so much of my self-esteem and self-worth is wrapped up in, like, telling a joke and then people laughing, because I'm not good at other shit. I think that's why it was so emotionally, like, devastating when I gave that phone back to that lady and she was like, God bless you. She basically said, you're a hero. And I was like, holy cow, I'm good at something? So it's been like 5 days, or I don't even know what, it's Tuesday now. It's been like 7 days of like predominantly doing shit that I'm ass at. And now I'm back talking about the preferred Kama Sutra position for having sex with a mermaid. And I'm like, let's go, dude, I'm back. She's turned the weens against us. So true. Limmy's so fucking funny, man. I know that I'm funny, okay? I'm not trying to make it like I'm not funny. Being funny is actually... funny people know this, okay? I'm being a little sincere. But being funny is actually like a mental illness. Because you don't talk to people normally. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm so funny, I don't know how to turn it off. I mean like literally, it's like it's actually a mental problem. Because the first thing you think of in almost every situation, involuntarily, is like, what would be the funniest shit of all time that would happen here? So like, it's actually a little bit of a curse. No matter how fucked up a situation is, you're like, holy cow, if I just like pulled down my pants and farted right now, imagine how funny that would be. Anyway, I know that I'm like pretty funny, but there's a couple people on earth who are so funny. For my taste, they're so much funnier than me that it makes me angry that they exist. Limmy is definitely one of those people. I should be clear, I'm not angry. I'm not saying I wish Limmy didn't exist. I'm simply saying whenever I see a great Limmy clip, I'm like, fuck you, you funny motherfucker. And it's not like, because the Limmy stuff is not like, hey, what do you call a sandwich with wings, you know? And then the answer is like a fucking blimpie or something like that. See, what did I tell? Oh, I'm washed. It's always, you ever see the bit from the Limmy show where he hallucinates and then when he comes to, there's the dude in the pub that's talking to him? It's like there's a level of like cerebricity in that is like, listen, I'm spiraling a little bit here. Chib? Yeah, Chib's pretty funny. I'm glad he exists. If you're glad he exists, doesn't that mean you don't think he's that funny? I said what I said. No, Chib is obviously very funny. I've said this before, but like Chib, it irritates me how funny Chib is. I don't know if he's here. I don't know if he's listening. I don't know if we're best friends. But it's annoying because he doesn't tell jokes. He's just funny. Like all of my framework for being funny is like, you know, set up punchline. 2 words that sound alike. 2 words with a different meaning but the same spelling. And people go, that's clever. And then Chib will just be like, oh. And then I laugh. And then he goes, sorry. And I go, what happened? And he goes, inside out quesadilla. And I'm like, it's the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, what even is an inside out quesadilla? Like, it's not a joke, but it's funny. Like, how do you do that? Meanwhile, Chib will be like, open quotation mark, knowing people is the first thing anyone ever did. Holy fuck. Why does Zoomer random humor get a pass from you? It's not a pass, it's just, you know, funny sometimes. You have very strong opinions about what's not funny, and like, I get it. But like, if boomer humor is not funny, and then Gen Z humor is just like, is so random, all that leaves is fucking like millennial humor, which is like Ron Burgundy saying like, you are a dirty pirate, blah, blah. It's all it leaves is Anchorman quotes. Chib isn't random either. He just hits different. I think that's true. I don't think Chib is lol XD holds up spork. I'm to Penguin of Doom. I think it's just like the stuff that he says is just pure comedy. I don't know any other way to explain it. And they aren't all winners. I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck it means that Cleopatra will be found by no man. But the misses are great. The misses make it more respectable because you know he's going for it. Like, he's not just phoning it in. He's like, he's trying. You got me. That's not a joke, it's a quote? What do you mean, though? By no man. Anyway, whatever. We played like 3 hours of SAP today. Dude, it's so funny. I don't know if anybody else does Discord in streamer mode at all times, but everybody on my Discord, their username is just letter ... Because if you're in streamer mode, it doesn't show everybody else's full username if they've changed their usernames, because they don't want to give away their username. You know what? Because the username is now identifying. Everybody on my Discord that I've DM'd with in the past, I mean, I'm going back to Team Unity group message here. So like, it's been a long time. Every single person has the new username except Sips. All I see is just ... and Sips ... and Sips. It's throwing me, man. It's the most Sips coded thing I've ever seen. Oh man. Okay, I'll send you over to my wife's stream. Enjoy your day. I'll see you tomorrow. By the way, here's another anecdote for you. Someone said, did your wife have to drive over too? Yes, but check this out. Not only did I have to commute to here to work today, but the daycare started an hour late. So my ass called an Uber. I took an Uber to work to show up an hour late because we have one car, because we're not insane people. It's crazy. It cost me $17 to get to work today. I work from home. It doesn't make sense, man. It almost fucked up my whole day too, because the dude was so heavy on the gas and the brake that I was getting like motion sick in the car. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be fucking nauseous for the whole day today. But actually, it worked out okay. Anyway, see you tomorrow.
Cause that's like, that's not really the case for Luna though. She had light hair, but she was not blonde. Maybe like almost orange, like red hair kind of. But then now her hair got darker and it's brown. She had like red hair when she was a baby, but now she got dark brown for sure. But then when Ryan was a baby, apparently he had like super blonde hair. It was almost white. That's what his mom said. Like his hair was so blonde that it was almost like white hair. But then as he got older, the hair got darker and then it was like dirty blonde before he lost it. Did Ryan tell you this story? I was just folding laundry and this conversation happened between Luna and Ryan and I like almost died. So like they were just playing together in her room and then out of nowhere Luna said, "Daddy, what happened to your hair?" And then Ryan was like, "What do you mean? Daddy got no hair." And she's like, "Yeah, why do you not have hair? Did you fall? Did you hurt your head?" And then I start laughing. And I was like, "Oh no. What is it? What the hell? How is he gonna save his ass?" And then Ryan said, "No, Daddy's just bald. Daddy was born bald. Daddy's just bald." And she's like, "Then you got no hair? Like the hair is not coming back?" Like like she thought like the baldness was kind of like a scrape. You know, like when you scrape your knee, after time it will heal. So like she's like, "So the hair's not coming back?" And then he's like, "No, Daddy's hair is not coming back." And she's like, Daddy just have no hair?" And then Ryan was like, "Yes, Daddy's bald. Daddy got no hair." I was laughing so hard. I'm just like, "What happened, Daddy? Did you fall?" And I'm like, I just imagine Ryan falling over and then like his hair just like falling off of his head. Like it's like someone had like a plate stacked on his head, and then when he fell, all the plate just like fell over and then just broke. Except it wasn't a plate; it was hair. Like he fell, and then like all of his hair just fell out. Oh man! Oh, I'm crying. Oh, just thinking about that made me laugh so hard. Cause it's so funny, cause it was genuine, right? Like it wasn't like she was trying to be mean, right? It wasn't like she's like, you know, but like she was like legit curious. Like, mommy has hair, I have hair, everyone else in daycare has hair. Like the only person that she knows who's bald is Ryan. Like no one else is bald that she knows. So it's like, she's like, "What happened, Daddy? Did you fall?" And then Ryan was like, "This is why Daddy wears hat." And then Luna said, "Hat? Your hair is hat?" And then Ryan was like, "No, it's because Daddy doesn't have hair to protect his head, so Daddy wears hat." I think she asked like something along the line of like, "Do bald people wear hat?" Something like that. And I'm just like, "Oh man, just make this stop. Make it stop, dude. Make it stop. It's not getting any better. It's getting like worse and worse." But yeah, it was very funny. It was very funny that Luna thought that Ryan fell, and that's why he was bald. Like his hair came off because like he fell or something. Should we get him a wig? No. So like, okay, there's another roast for Ryan, and it's not by me, it's by Luna, so I think it's okay. Like when I was moving stuff, there was a photo of like when Luna was 2 or 3 months old, baby, and Ryan is holding her. And you know, like during that time, Ryan gained weight and he didn't shave his beard, so he had a beard and stuff like that. And then she said, "Oh, that's me when I was baby." And I was like, "That's right. And who's that?" And I was pointing at Ryan. And then she's like, I don't know. Uncle?" And I was like, "Are you joking? Are you joking?" I was like, "Are you joking?" And she's like, "No, who's that?" And I said, look at it. Who do you think this guy is?" And then she like looked at it closely and she's like, "I don't know." And I was I was like, "You don't know? Are you sure? Are you joking?" And then she's like, "No. Who is it? Uncle?" And I was like, "No, that's someone that you know. It's someone that you love." And she's like, "Mommy?" I'm like, "No, it's not Mommy. Come on, who else do you love?" And she's like, "I don't know." And I was like, "It's Daddy! It's Daddy! It's Ryan! It's Daddy!" And she's like, "Daddy?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's Daddy." And she's like, "No." I'm like, "Yes, that's Daddy. Look, he got the glasses, he's bald." And then she's like, "Oh, Daddy." I'm like, "Yeah, that's Daddy." And then she's like, "Huh." And then she like left. And I was like, "Oh my god." And then when Ryan came back, I was like, "Ryan, can you show this photo to Luna and then ask her who this person is?" And then Ryan was like, "Okay." I was like, "Oh hey, who's this?" And then she said, "Uncle?" I was like, "No way, she's not doing this again." And then Ryan was like, "No, that's Daddy, that's Daddy." And she's like, "That's Daddy?" Like Ryan was like, that's Daddy." And then she's like, "What's that?" And then she pointed at like his beard. And then it's like, "Oh, you know, Daddy was like having a beard, so that's Daddy's beard." And then she said, "Beard? Why did you have beard?" And then Ryan was like, "Oh, well, you know, we were very busy. You know, you were when you have a baby, it's a lot of work, so Daddy forgot to shave." And then she's like, "Huh?" And then she left. But I was like, oh, it's like so unexpected of how like clear of things that they see, and if they were not a baby, it would come as like very, very rude. But then because they're a baby, and because you know they have no negative meaning behind it that it's just like, it's so funny. It's so funny.
Singing in the bathtub, sitting all alone, tearing out a tonsil just like a baritone. What is wrong with this guy? Singing lots of songs, singing in the bathtub is like righting all your wrongs.